Hi, I'm Heather North from heatherscreativeblessings.com, here with another bullet journal planner video. If you normally watch my YouTube channel to see card making videos, you might want to skip this one. But if you're a planner enthusiast, you might want to check out my playlist for my other bullet journal planner videos. My large A5 Moleskine notebook is just about full, so I'm going to start using my newer, bigger B5 Leuchtturm1917 notebook. But before I do, I thought I would share with you how I used my Moleskine in the month of May. I also have one more video coming for you that shows how I'm going to use the pages of this book that were kind of left over. I've got some orphan pages with nothing on them. Now that my planner's almost filled out, I finally did the front cover. I used my word of the year, which is focus, and used a quote. I'll be using that same quote in my new planner as well. So let's start out with May. I've got my business calendar. This is for my blog, YouTube channel, design team things that are due. I put all that there. And then my second page for the family. I'll be combining that next month. I've got all the payments that I made, and when I get a confirmation number, I'll put that in there too. Then there's my May tracker. I really like the colors here. It was just a joy to see those colors all month long, but I think I'm going to skip doing that tracker next month and change it up. Now we've got my weeklies and dailies. I did a couple of different layouts. Each week I did a little something different just to try it out. Creating your own bullet journal really is a process, and it's a discovery of what works best for you. So that first week I had boxes underneath. And then the second and third weeks, I did my business stuff vertical and my family horizontal. And so I'm going to try that again for June and just keep trying until I find what works for me and for my new size of journal as well. And here's a sneak peek at that video that's coming very soon. As soon as I'm done editing this one, I'll work on that one. And that is a project that I just use my bullet journal to keep track of. In case you're wondering about the size comparison, the A5 is 5.8 inches by 8.3 inches, and the B5 is 7 inches by 10 inches. I still need to put my quote into my front page, but I'm going to be using the word focus. That's my word of the year. Your focus determines your reality is the quote. I changed up my year at a glance and birthdays just a little bit from my A5 planner. I had them on separate pages, but I combined them into one by just doing each of the calendar months, and then underneath the month I wrote in birthdays, anniversaries, and things that corresponded with that month. And then there's also some space underneath so I can add for the future years if a baby's born or something like that. Next is my future planning for the remaining months of 2016, and I was able to fit them all on a double page spread. I filled in the calendar months on the left side, and then to the right of that, I can write in all of our dates, appointments, anniversaries, things like that. And then I'll take a pen and I'll just mark up those dates on the month. I wanted to note here that I am using a friction pen that erases with that eraser, but it also erases with heat. And I have to thank David Reber for pointing that out, because if you leave it in a hot car, apparently your ink can completely disappear. But if you stick that paper back into the freezer, it reappears. And he did a test for me, and that did happen. I learned that through quilting because I use these pens and I use an iron to erase it, but I realized that if it gets into extreme cold, those lines could come back. So just a good little tip. Thank you, David, for reminding me of that. The last week and a half of May is in my new bullet journal planner because I ran out of room in my Moleskine, and I've been playing with some different ways of laying it out. Having the dailies and the weeklies separated, having the weeklies under the dailies. Each week I do a little something different, and you know, it's all still new to me. I'm not really sure if I am loving this new size or not. I think it's going to take me some time to figure it out. There are things I definitely like, definitely some advantages. Here I've used my weekly spread up at top, and I've got my dailies underneath. I will see if there's enough room with that. This is going to be next week's. And after I'm done setting up my monthly, I'll set up another weekly just to show you what I'm doing. I think with these bullet journal planners, it's all individual, it's all a learning experience, and done is better than perfect. Each month, each week, each day really is a new chance to try out something to see if it will work for you. One of the things I'm really excited about trying is combining my monthly business and personal planner into one. The first thing I do is to take a pencil and just lightly mark out my calendar grid. So there's 5 weeks in June. I'm going to go down 5 weeks, and each of these boxes are 8 squares horizontally and 8 squares vertically, so it makes a complete square. And I just continue to mark that off, and then I'm going to come in with my pen and I'll fill this in. Now you could use a ruler. I have started just doing freehand and embracing the imperfection and the sketchy look of it, but it's perfectly okay to also use a ruler if you feel like you need it. Oh, here's mistake number 1. It's coming up. I can feel it. Oh, right there. Usually what I do is I look at the month and I see what day of the week does the month start on. And June starts on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I put that line in there, so I just took some correction tape and erased it. Then I made mistake number 2 and I started on the wrong day of the week. I was just having time of it. And you can see I kind of messed up on that last line there. You know, that's just life. And the thing is, this is my bullet journal planner. I'm really the only one who sees it. I mean, except for all of you guys. But really, I'm the only one who's going to be looking at it daily. And it doesn't matter. Once it's filled in, you'll never even notice it. I won't. I mean, I will, but I won't. It's just a calendar, okay? I have to embrace the imperfection of life. So I just continue to fill that in, and then I hash off a box for each day, each date. As you can see, the top, I start on Sunday and go through Saturday, because that's the way I'm used to looking at a calendar. When it comes to weeklies, I start on Monday, because that's kind of how my week goes. Maybe confusing to you, but just do what works best for you. Now I'm just filling in all of my dates. Once the ink is dry, I just take a white eraser and erase all of my hash marks. Instead of writing out June, I decided to use some sticker letters, and since I didn't have the color I wanted, I just pulled out these white stickers and used my Copics, and I experimented with a few different colors just to see what I would like, and then I colored in the letters for June. Copics are an alcohol marker that dries very quickly. Now these letter stickers and the floral ones I'm using, these were from Creative Memories. They've long since retired. I think Creative Memories, well, I know they closed down. I don't know if they're open in business again or not, but anyways, these stickers are really old. I'll try and link to something if I can find something similar. I ended up ripping that E when I was pulling it on and off, so I just colored another one. I also cut the sticker because I thought it looked pretty with just the ends, and then I decided, nope, I like it all the way, so I added it back on. Are you as indecisive as I am? Ugh. I mean, making decisions is one of the hardest parts. I have a tool that I usually use to put these letters on, but I didn't have it handy, so I just used the tip of my mechanical pencil. I'm just going to finish decorating and adding in some dates to my planner, and I'll be back in a minute. I'm just referring back to my future planner to make sure I have all those dates in there. And then I knew Father's Day was in June, but I wasn't sure of the exact date, so I just Googled it. And next I'm going to set up my weeklies. Now usually I do a tracker page after my monthly, and I am going to do another one to track my bills and some other things, but I just wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and I think I'm going to take the summer off from doing that daily tracker. I might change my mind. I might just take June off, or I might end up putting it back in. But for now, I decided I'm just going straight into my next weekly. So what I do is, or what I'm doing for this week rather, is similar to that monthly. I just hash mark out what I'm going to draw in later with my pen. And I start my weeklies on Monday. The top part is for my my family, my personal things, appointments and dates that I need to remember. The second line that just has 2 boxes, that's going to be for my meal planning. And then underneath here, this is kind of my business as well as volunteer work. So these spaces will have creative blessings, they'll have stamp of approval, Stamp Nation, South Sound Modern Quilt Guild, and the Calling All Sisters blog hop. And along the top, I write in the day of the week, and then I write the date as well. So it'll have Monday the 6th, Tuesday the 7th, etc. I'm going to try doing my dailies underneath again. So I stamped out, this is from Plan On It by Lawn Fawn. I stamped out these hearts. This is kind of for my water intake, or if I want to track something else. I've got that for each day of the week, and then I'm writing out Monday, and then I'm counting down halfway, which I think was about 10, and then I've got a line across. I'm also splitting the page in half so that I can fit 4 days on the left and then 3 days on the right. And that last box will be this week and next week. So if there's things that I need to get done this week or next week, I can just fill them in there, or I can fill them to the side of those weekly boxes up top. Also, because I've got a lot of birthdays and Father's Day, I wanted to mark when I was going to be needing to mail those cards to get them out on time. So the Plan On It stamp set has this cute little envelope, and I just stamped it in there. I'm going to wait to add the rest of my weeklies and dailies to see how this works for me and if I can fit them all onto one 2-page spread. It will be interesting to see how this new B5 Leuchtturm notebook works out for me. I'll be sure and let you know in my July video. I'll have some more still pictures for you on my blog, and I'll have links to all the products that I use that I can find. If you would like to see how I set up my project for spring cleaning in my bullet journal, be sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel to be notified when that comes up, or check out my bullet journal planner playlist. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Bye.